Hi, today I'm going to explore some of the resources and activities that we can find in the teacher practice area. So first I asked to be enrolled, and once I received the confirmation, I entered the teacher practice area. I've already done a few things, so don't be surprised. But anyway, the first thing someone should do once allowed is to turn on the editing here on the, yes, okay, it's working. Okay, and then viewing the instructions again was very, very useful. But then you can choose a topic. You can see that some topics have already been started, like Nellie's, Grace, Ella's about June, and I started topic number 4. The first thing I did was to put my name on it. How did I do that? I went to add an activity or resource, and I chose the label in the resources here. And then when this was done, you see here you get, when you click on a resource or an activity, you get a good description of it, and you also get some suggestions on how to use it in your course. Okay. On this sidebar, you have on top the activities, which are mostly things that you can do with your students or your students can do. You know, like you have a lot of, you can give them an assignment and they're going to do it. You have, you can have polls, you can, different forms of polls. You can have voting, for example. You can get feedback from your students, which is very nice when you want to know how you are doing and how you can improve. You can start forums with your students. You can start game with your students. Different games on vocabulary, review games with questions they have to answer in different formats. You have the game, the hidden picture. You ask a question. When they get the answer right, they get a new part of a picture. There are lots of them. You can insert some hot potato kind of activity. You can have a journal. You can, of course, have an organizer. You can organize some quizzes. You can use it to have the students appoint with you when they want. You can, as I said, you have some polling systems. You can open a wiki. There are lots of activities that you can offer to your students. And below you have some resources, which I would say, from what I've seen, it's more a way to present content to your students. For example, you could have a book. If you have a long document, multi-page resource in a book-like format with chapters, sub-chapters, can be a good way to present the content of your course. You can also present files, only files, which is shorter. You can, of course, make folders where they will have access to different kinds of documents. IMS content, if you can agree on a standard with your students, because they will need the software to download and to operate. The label, as I said, where you can put your name and make a description. We'll get back to that. A gallery where you can have a lot of pictures so that your students can, I don't know, describe, or depending on but we will. It's a way to display your material. You can also create a page within Moodle where you, when you have a large amount of content, and but not too large. If it's too large, use the book. Okay, you can also organize your content in a poster, and you can, of course, link your by the URL. You can link to the content. Okay, what I did with the label, let's go back. I don't know if it's going to work. If I add a new label, yes. Okay, all I had to do here was to put my name on it. And I could have made a description of it. Okay, ESP, let's say English for special purpose, and that's it for the moment. Okay, of course, as we've seen with a rich editor, you can bold and color. I love purple. Let's go for the purple, and you can change the font size here. Let's make it a little bigger. You can also change the font family and so on. And here we go back to purple, but not that big. Up and up. And I don't need to bold it. Okay, then you have access to the settings. Okay, if you want to show it or not to your students. The access, if you want to put any restriction to the access to your page. Activity completion, if you want to your students to mark the activity as completed or not necessary, do not indicate. And you have also the choice, you can also enable a date for the end of your assignment if you want, but there is no activity completion, so no problem. But if they wanted to make them up here, I could put that I want this by the end of January 2019. Okay, and then all I have to do is save and return to the course. Okay, easy peasy. Continue. Sorry, something went wrong.